Привіт, друзі! Ласкаво прошу на канал VERBA. Today we are having the fourth lesson for beginners and we will talk about genders of the Ukrainian nouns and the category of animateness and inanimateness. This is a basic grammar that you need to know to speak Ukrainian. But before we begin, I want to remind you поставити вподобайку цьому відео. Because I know that later you can just forget and my helper Salomia will be really upset about it. So, press thumb up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And we begin. At first we will talk about the category of animateness and inanimateness. In Ukrainian it sounds like істота and неістота, like creature and not creature literally. What is the difference? Animate nouns answer the question who. Хто? Хто це? Who is this? Хто це? Inanimate words answer the question what. Що? Що це? What is this? Що це? According to the logic, we understand that all alive creatures will be animate, while everything else will be inanimate. And in general, this rule works. But there are some nuances that I want to discuss. So, at first, people. Of course, they all are animate. For example, студент, брат, мама. They are animate answering the question хто? Or animals, including fish, birds and insects. Жираф, ворон, комар. Animate. Then, different mythological creatures or religious creatures. They are animate. For example, відьма, демон, русалка. Also, we say that the words that describe deceased people or animals also will be animate because we still think about them as about alive creatures. So such words as мрець, покійник, небіжчик, they are animate. Also, an interesting fact is that we would say that the words that look like human-like ones, will be animate too. So such words as лялька, сніговик, робот will be animate. So about them we will use the question who, хто. And also even the toys that look like animals, about them we also would say хто. For example, my dog has a toy pig, and I would say хто це? Who is this? This is a pig. Це Хрюша. So even if they are not alive, we still say that they're animate. And also, even more strange thing is that we say that cards and chess figures are also animate. Валет, ферзь, пішак, they're хто. Well, this is a little bit strange, but still. So basically everything else will be inanimate. Let's just take a look at different categories, but of course it's not full list of everything that could be inanimate. So, of course, it's objects, telephone, книга, стіл, inanimate. Places, office, theater, Anglia, different geographic names, inanimate. Different phenomena, дощ, сніг, веселка, they're inanimate. Different abstract concepts, of course, любов, радість, тиша, inanimate. Groups of people and animals. So we just said that people and animals are animate, but names of their groups will be inanimate and answer the question що, what. For example, група, натовп, зграя, they're inanimate. And different microorganisms, those that are tiny, that we can see only in microscope, they will be also inanimate. Virus, bacteria, microbe, inanimate. So this is how we distinguish these two categories. And you may ask me, okay, Nika, and why at all do I need to think about it and to know what is animate, what's inanimate? And here, first of all, in order to ask correct question, to ask who is this or what is this? Хто це? Що це? In order to ask this question, you need to know if this word is animate or inanimate. Also, it will be very important when you will learn Ukrainian case system and when you will speak about, for example, accusative case. We will talk about it a little bit on the next lesson, by the way, already. So, for this, you need to know which nouns are animate, which are inanimate. Now, let's just practice. You have a table with 2 columns and a list of words which you need to put to the correct column. So I'm offering you to stop now the video, to take a pen or pencil and your notebook and to write down the words into 2 categories, animate and inanimate. And I'm asking you not to look at the English translation of the words. Try to understand them by yourself because they are very simple. A lot of them are borrowed or quite famous words. If you have difficulties, then of course you can take a look at the English version. So stop the video, do the exercise, and we will check it in a couple of seconds. Okay, I hope you have done this exercise, and here you can see the slide where you can check if you have answered correctly. I will not read now all the words, but you can again stop the video to check your own list. Now we're moving to the second topic that we're having in this lesson, and this is the gender of Ukrainian nouns. And the first thing that we need to understand is that all the Ukrainian nouns will have gender. Doesn't matter if they are animate or inanimate. What it means? About animate, everything is logical. For the men, we would say the pronoun he, for women, she. It's logical. But even inanimate words also have gender, and about them we will also use the pronouns he, she, or it. Yes, it may seem a little bit strange, but gender is only grammar category, which is defined usually by the ending of the word, or sometimes by its meaning. But let's not rush and go step by step. So in the Ukrainian language we have 3 genders: masculine, чоловічий рід. Рід is gender, so чоловічий рід, masculine gender. Feminine gender, жіночий рід, жіночий рід. And neuter gender, середній рід, середній рід. So 3 genders. And each of them, the nouns of each gender, we can replace with the personal pronoun. Він for masculine, вона for feminine, and воно for neuter. So let's find out how to define the gender of the Ukrainian nouns. And at first we will talk about masculine gender, чоловічий рід. So, first of all, most part of the Ukrainian nouns with any consonant in the end will be masculine. For example, дім, друг, телефон, інтернет, жираф, дельфін. They all have a consonant in the ending, so they are masculine words. Also, it can be a list of the nouns with ending o, but only when they denote some proper name, like river Dnipro, Dnipro, which is masculine, the biggest river in Ukraine. And also if it's a personal name, just a male name, a lot of Ukrainian male names will have ending o. For example, Петро, Михайло, Павло, Сашко, Дмитро. They're all masculine, of course, because they denote men. The same as the next category you can see here. The words that denote men, of course, logically will be masculine, and we do not care what ending they have. For example, батько, тато, дядько, хлопець, дідусь, чоловік, брат. They are all masculine. And Also, the words with soft sign can be masculine, but here I recommend you to check every word with a soft sign in dictionary to check its gender, because sometimes it's masculine, sometimes it's feminine. There is a tendency that most words with some abstract meaning will be feminine and more real objects will be masculine. But it's not 100% rule. So still, when you learn the words with soft sign, I recommend you to check their gender. But let's see the examples of masculine words with soft sign. Олівець, стілець, місяць, півень, лосось, стиль, біль. They are masculine. Now we go on to feminine gender. Жіночий рід. And first of all, the words with ending a or ya normally will be feminine. Кава, машина, мрія, вишиванка, робота, земля, воля, історія. They're all feminine. Also, of course, all the words that denote women will be feminine. Жінка, дружина, дівчина, дівчинка, мама, бабуся, сестра. They are feminine. Of course, feminine names will be feminine words. Марія, Аліна, Катерина, Вікторія, Олена, Олеся, Nika. They are feminine. And you can see that most female names in Ukrainian will have endings a or ya, actually, which is logical for this language. But we can have also some borrowed names like Margaret or Catherine. They will end with a consonant. But of course they will be feminine because they are female names. And also, as I already said, the words with soft sign can be feminine, especially if these are some abstract things, if it's emotions or something like this. Examples. Радість, бідність, гідність, гордість, молодість, сіль, not so abstract, but still feminine, сіль, and модель, as well, not very abstract, but still feminine. So we need to memorize it. And we have to memorize a list of exceptions that have consonant ending, but they are feminine. So, любов, кров, ніч, піч, річ, зустріч, північ. These words are feminine. We just have to remember it. And now the neuter gender, середній рід. The most typical endings for the neuter gender are o and e. O, e. For example, вікно, сонце, серце, яйце, дерево, кільце. These are neuter words. Also, neuter words sometimes can have ending ya in two situations. First situation, when you have a doubled consonant before this ending ya. Take a look to the examples. Життя, волосся, бажання, рішення, кохання, знання. They all have doubled consonants before ya. If you have such situation, it will be a neuter word. And also, ending ya could be used for description of animal cubs, tiny animals who were just born. And sometimes even we use the word дитя in Ukrainian. It's like a diminutive form of дитина, which is a child, a baby, a kid. So when it's a very tiny baby, then we could say дитя. Or кошеня, цуценя, слоненя, курча for little animals. And we have two words, exceptions, also with ending ya, that don't follow these two situations, but still they are neuter. Ім'я, name, ім'я, and щастя, щастя, happiness. They are neuter. So now you know how to define the gender of nouns. We will practice now a little bit. But again, before it, you will ask me, Nika, so why do I need this gender? What's the difference? Is it masculine or feminine? I don't care. No, you care if you want to speak Ukrainian. So, for example, if we have a structure, my plus some noun. For example, if you want to say my notebook and my pen, this pronoun, possessive pronoun, my, it will be different according to the gender of the object that you describe. Записник will be masculine and ручка will be feminine. So my notebook, I will say мій записник, мій записник. And for pen, which is feminine, I would say моя ручка, моя ручка. Мій записник, моя ручка. So this word my depends on the gender. And it will work not only in this structure, it's just an example of why do you need to know the gender of the Ukrainian nouns. So, now you have a table, masculine used with pronoun мій, feminine with моя, and neuter моє, моє. And you need to put all the words that you have into this table into correct column. So now stop the video, make the exercise, and we will check it in a few seconds. Ready? I hope so. So let's check. Again, you can stop the video to see which words are in which column and to check yourself. And in general, that is all for today. We have learned how to define if the word is animate or inanimate and how to define the gender of the Ukrainian nouns. I hope that this lesson will help you with your Ukrainian language journey. And first of all, I want to thank those people who support me on Patreon, because only thanks to you, to your support of my Ukrainian language project, I can continue creating these videos, spending time to prepare the materials. And by the way, all these materials are available for all my patrons. I publish them on Patreon together with this video, and you can download the PDF with the slides and use it for your learning. So thank you very much for your support. If you guys want to support me too, you can use the link in the video description. And I remind you, if you haven't put вподобайку yet, you can put it now and you can share this video with those people who also learn Ukrainian. And don't forget to subscribe. Of course, I will be glad to read your comments. What do you think about this lesson and if it was helpful for you? Thank you very much. Дуже дякую. Бажаю вам гарного дня і побачимось скоро. See you soon.